Can the media prevent violence against women? Of course it can. Violence against women and children has become one of the single most talked about issues in the Australian media this year. And in fact, Leslie, when she just mentioned the awareness and the consciousness that we all know is present, where did that come from? It didn't just come from nowhere. And one of the things I want to argue is that when this momentum starts with the media on a topic, it usually doesn't stop. The nation has lent its ears to those who have really bravely spoken out. This year, of course, led by the remarkable Rosie Batty. And, you know, the doors have opened and they'll probably never be shut again. The media obviously cannot stop violence completely. Probably nothing will ever stop violence completely. But it absolutely can, and probably already does, prevent it. It's true that it's taken a shamefully long time for the private sphere, particularly of domestic violence, to be reported in a way that's informative beyond sensationalism, inaccuracy, blaming the abused, and particularly murder-focused violence. But when the media does get on board, it absolutely influences thinking and behaviour. And when this happens in concert with other things like government focus, government commitment and government policy and community awareness, it's a very, very powerful thing. And, you know, we can look at examples in recent times of other different, obviously very different, but issues such as the tobacco smoking, drink driving, the way suicide is now reported in ways that have involved significant cultural change and have changed behaviour. The media does tend to hunt as a pack, and we see this in all sorts of ways. But when the issue is a good one, when the message is a good one, this can be a good thing. The Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, announced a $30 million national campaign to reduce violence against women, and this will involve a media campaign. At the White Ribbon Breakfast just last week, he said, and I quote, "So yesterday we had another meeting with the media, and there is a real cultural change which is very present to make sure that they report violence against women, stories about violence against women, domestic violence in a way that does not blame the victims, in a way that promotes cultural change." The media turned up to these meetings. That change has begun. They're listening to each other. Just this morning, in a simple media monitoring search of major news outlets on the internet, there were 5 stories that were present like that. There was a Victorian police preying on victims of domestic violence story, which is part of an ongoing Fairfax investigation into sexual harassment in the police force. This is a really serious report. It's proper investigative journalism, and something will come of this. It's there for everybody to read. There was another piece on the ABC Online, a really different piece. It couldn't have been less sensational. It was the tips for giving at Christmas from a domestic violence survivor. It was from ABC North Queensland. As I said, it was very unsensational, but it gave a great context. It also contained a live link with more information, with the number of domestic violence incidents that have occurred just today that have been reported to Australian police, and the names and phone numbers of 5 support services. There was a really crappy opinion piece in the Adelaide Advertiser, which was really an excuse to attack Green's policy about how Barbie dolls don't cause violence, but it still made some basic points. There was another ABC online news report of a man arrested with firearms during a domestic violence incident this morning. A very immediate news report with more to come. But again, all the links were there and the number had gone up. An opinion piece in the Courier Mail that the burden of change lies with men. The Herald Sun has an ongoing campaign, Take a Stand. I haven't even touched upon new media, and my time is up. There's clearly a long way to go. Our media is still dominated by men's voices, newsreaders, radio presenters, editors, managing directors, senior producers, very few women on boards, let alone CEOs or chairs. Sexual harassment is actually apparently more of a problem in newsrooms than most other workplaces. But what is indisputable? The media is communicating the message. Violence against women has to stop. Culture must change. And how else do people become aware of it? How do you know about anything without communication? The Prime Minister's speech last week was reported everywhere. Rosie Batty is reported everywhere. The Royal Commission will be reported everywhere, as will all government campaigns. And so it's time now for this clarion call, and the media will be there. Thank you.